took a well-needed week off. A lot happened last week, but I'm so glad I took the week off because I had a chance to reflect and to just think and to grieve a little bit, to talk to my friends. I'm okay this week, and I think I'm gonna do that often. Not super often, but you know how sometimes I say I'm gonna take a hiatus and I take months. I think every now and again I'm gonna do like the whole week off thing because it worked for me, you know. But I'm back. This is a little bit of a late upload. I had a lot to do today, but as you can see, my background is a little different. I put the butterfly wings and whatnot here because I feel like we need some pretty powerful imagery or whatever, and I like how this looks, and I feel like, you know, butterflies are like a representation of like freedom and stuff like that, you know, like they're very beautiful, they're very majestic, and I love butterflies. I might lower it some, I don't know yet, but I just love it. These are actually wings that I wore for Halloween, but I don't see myself wearing these again. So I hung them up. But anyway, how are you doing? Of course, this is Mental Health Mondays, and just piggybacking off of what happened last week. Like I said, I'm not gonna disclose any information about whom the person was out of respect for their friends, their family members, but I will say it was somebody that that was in my circle that I knew through another friend. It was her family member. So and they were young. So the COVID does not discriminate. So do not think that your age, it does not discriminate. It does not care who you are. It doesn't care if you're black, white, brown, Puerto Rican. It doesn't care who you are, what color you are, what race you are, what religion you believe in. It doesn't care. It is wiping people out left and right. And I need for people to stop playing around with this virus. It is not a game out here. Cover yourself, protect yourself, practice social distancing, stay safe. I know we are all going through this together with the stay at home pause and not being able to be social and not seeing our friends and our family. I get it. Believe me, I get it. I am an introverted extrovert. Okay? And I miss my friends. Like today, one of my friends stopped by today just so we could see each other for 5 minutes because we missed each other that much. But, stuff like that is okay, but constantly going in and out of the house, and you stay home. If you don't have to go out for essentials, stay home. It's not a game. But I just wanted to discuss in this episode, just dealing with like ways to deal with grief with a loved one's passing or whatever. I feel like a lot of people don't know how to deal with their grief in the right way, in a positive way. I'm guilty because you see how I had the situations happen with my cousins in October, and I feel like with me, how I deal with grief, I just need to take a minute to myself and to just gather my thoughts and just allow myself to just feel, and some people don't do that. Some people don't grieve. They get up and they walk around like everything is okay, or they ignore their feelings. It's a number of ways that people deal with grief that are unhealthy. So I just wanted to put out there like some ways that people could deal with grief, because everyone deals with grief differently, which is nothing wrong with that. There's no right or wrong way to deal with grief. How you deal with it is how you deal with it, as long as you allow yourself to deal with it. So the first thing I put was allow yourself to go through the motions. It's okay to be happy. It's okay to feel a sense of relief. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be agitated. It's okay to be irritable. It's okay to feel all of these things, because that's the process of going through the motions. You're gonna have all of these weird emotions for a while. Not to say that they ever go away. It's just that with time, time heals all wounds. So losing a loved one, especially someone who's really close to you, it takes some getting used to, because missing them is like the hard part. So I notice a lot of people like to bottle up their emotions and stuff, and they don't want to deal with it. And that's not a healthy way to go, because in the end, you're hurting yourself. So the best way is to just allow yourself to feel. And a lot of things that I do is I'll tell myself, this is how I'm feeling. It's okay to feel this way. I'm human, and that's what people fail to realize. We're not robots. We have emotions, we have feelings, we laugh, we cry, we go through it all. Mentally we go through a lot. So it's okay to feel. It's okay, crying and all of that. That's not a sign of weakness. That's actually a sign of strength. I don't know about everybody else, but me, after I have a good cry, I feel better. Like, it's like I'm released. Whatever was bothering me is now gone. I let it go. I woosah, and I go on about my day. So a lot of people think that crying is a sign of weakness. It's not. It's a sign of strength. Cry. Let that stuff go, or it's going to kill you in the long run. Another way to deal with grief is, when it comes to a person passing and people knew them or whatever, and you'll see some things that are like very negative, like people who like, you'll see like a whole bunch of like fake love, pretty much, because I witnessed it with my cousins. I witnessed it with my grandmother, my uncle, anybody that's passed away that was close to me. I've witnessed it at their funerals, where people are crying and whatnot, and really carrying on, acting the ones that act the most dramatic, usually at funerals and stuff like that, or when a person passes, those are the ones that have the most guilt. That's how I see it, because I've seen it firsthand myself. At every funeral I've been to, there's always that one person that has to overdo it or whatever. It's a sign of guilt to me. So when you got people, oh, we was just this, and this, and this person was this, man, that was my dog, blah, 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 blah. And a month or so ago, or 2 months ago, this was the same person you were dogging out, calling them names, saying that they're, just defaming their character pretty much. But, now that they're gone, now you want to give them their flowers. What happened to their flowers when they were living? That's a thought. Me, as it pertains to grief or whatever, I send my condolences and I move on. Now, if it's somebody that I was close to, like my uncle, I think the only thing that I did on social media when I first found out he passed away was, only thing I said was, this is the worst effing day of my life. And it was. October 18th will forever be the worst day of my life. I hate the month of October, and I hate the month of June, because I lost so many people in October and I lost so many people in June. So those are 2 months that I am not a fan of. But I made my general status, and then I went and I cried, and then when I felt up to it and I felt like expressing myself or whatever, that's when I made my memoriam to my uncle. And I was just like, I love you, I miss you, I'm so your wings were ready, but my heart wasn't, stuff like that. So it's like, you have to stand firm against people's antics. You can't let it get to you, because it's to be expected with stuff like this. It's to be expected for people to drag it and constantly be like, oh, well, like, that was my dog, and we did this and we did that, and you like, that's great. It happens. It's a lot of people who want to be in competition with other people about who knew them the longest, and I just find it to be sad, because it just makes it doesn't look right. It doesn't look right, and it doesn't sound right. Why does that matter? Who knew the person the longest? Why does it matter? Why? That doesn't matter. What matters is this person is now gone. Honor their legacy. Honor who they were. Think about the positive. Think about what positive can come out of this situation, because death, I don't want to say death is a negative situation. Death is a part of life. It's inevitable. We're all going to die someday. But when it comes to people passing, I like to take the positive from them. I like to take the positivity from what they've done when they were on here, when they served their purpose. Because I like to believe that, even though some people die a little earlier than others, we're all here for a purpose, whether we believe it or not. I do believe that we're all here for a certain purpose. We may not know what that is. We might not reach our full potential, or we might have. What we think our purpose wasn't. And for whatever short or long amount of time we're on this earth, I think once it's our time to go, we served our purpose. So if ever anyone feels like, it's just so much going on, I'm overwhelmed or whatever, stand firm in that. Stand firm in your feelings and say, listen, I don't need the negativity. I don't need people arguing over who know whom, whatever. That's not what this is about. This is about this person that has passed away. Let us come together. It's not a time to be negative. It's time for positivity. That's how I deal with it. Next one is, grief goes in cycles. It's a process that goes in cycles. Like I said earlier, there is no right, wrong, or indifferent way to grieve. Depending on who you are and how you operate, grief could go in any cycle. Any cycle. After the person passes away, you could go tomorrow trying to have a good day. You could go the day after that crying, the day after that being angry, the day after that being irritable. There's nothing wrong with you. You're grieving. You're in mourning. I know after my uncle passed away, the next day, I was a zombie. I was a zombie at work. I was a zombie taking my kids to school. I was a zombie. Like I didn't really talk to anybody. I was very to myself and whatnot. I think after I buried my uncle and it like hit me, like, he's no longer here, that's when I cried about it. And then from then on, I like to think about him in good memories. I like to think about jokes, cracking jokes and all of that other stuff. Like, it goes in cycles. And again, there is no right, wrong, or indifferent way to grieve. How you grieve is how you grieve, as long as it's positive and not negative. Like drinking to numb your feelings, or, taking on heavy drugs or whatever to numb. That's a negative way to grieve. But, crying about it, writing about it, expressing it to your friends and family, journaling, stuff like that. Positive. It goes in cycles. Do not feel bad for how you feel. You are entitled to feel how you feel. You are human. Lastly, it's okay to be sad. Just don't wallow in it, and take that as a way to honor their legacy. It is perfectly okay to be sad and to miss your loved one. It is. There is nothing wrong with being sad at all. This is somebody that you're not going to see again. So you have to honor what they stood for and whatnot. Honor their life. Celebrate their life. Make their birthdays celebration days. There's so many ways you can go about it. It's okay to feel. And that's my whole point of this whole video. It's okay to feel. It's okay to go in emotions. It's okay to want to cry about it. It's okay to feel however you feel. Again, me as an example, I honor the legacy. When it's my uncle's birthday, I tell him happy birthday every year. I tag him on Facebook posts. I know he can't read it, but I don't care. I like to think that he can. And I tag him on Facebook and I say happy birthday on the day of his death. I tell him how much I miss him, how much I love him. Same with my grandmother, same with my aunt, same with my, my cousins, same with anybody who has passed on that, I just honor their legacy. I honor their legacy, and I like to speak about them in a positive light. I like to speak about what they've done, what they did, how I learned from them or whatever, stuff like that. So it's okay to be sad. Again, time heals all wounds, but just don't wallow in it and just honor their legacy. That's all. Grief is it's a very hard thing to go through, but we all go through it because, again, we're human. So I hope that you guys take from this what you will. Again, I am so very sorry, and my condolences to anyone who has lost a loved one to this virus. But please realize how serious that this virus is. It's no joke. No joke. Please take care of yourselves. Please remember to stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, but most of all, stay home. This has been Mental Health Mondays with Teesha Denise on Teesha on the Tube, and I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend about Teesha on the Tube. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.